Welcome to another episode of the Man Cave Chronicles.
Welcome to the party, pal.
You're my boy, Blue.
Yo, Adrian.
A podcast with interviews of amazing guests from the world of pop culture.
Oh, yeah.
TV.
Nice.
Movies.
Oh, I love the movies.
Comedy and more. From deep inside the Man Cave, your host, Elias.
John, welcome to the cave.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm glad I was invited.
How are you, man? What's new with you?
I'm just hanging out. I'm, staying safe, staying sane, going to my son's lacrosse games, dropping my daughter off at gymnastics. Glad I live down here in Georgia. Things are, changed as little as possible. So just hanging out, and I'm just psyched to be alive.
Yeah. How's the whole quarantine thing treating you, like being inside more?
I'm not inside more, which is awesome. So, everything down in Georgia, I live in northern Georgia, and there's not much that's changed. Some people wear a mask. Definitely restaurant employees wear a mask, but by and large, life is fairly uninterrupted up here. So
that's great.
Things are good. There definitely is crazy, sort of politics going on with schooling and education and whether or not schools are open or closed. But other than that, everything's pretty much game on.
Mm. So, man, when I was doing some research on you, let me get this straight, because you've done a lot of things in your career. You're a 6-time Emmy Award-winning creator for sports science, which people have seen on ESPN and Fox. You've done the Morning Glory Live. You're working with Kill Cliff, like I mentioned before we got on the air. You've written a book, motivational speaker. You played some music, man. What else have you not done that's on your list?
I don't know. I haven't gotten a professionally trained in ballet yet, but I'm working on it, which is good.
Yeah.
So I've done a lot of things. I started in entertainment, right out of college. Made a couple movies, made a whole bunch of TV shows that evolved into sports science. We did 1,800 episodes of that. Won 6 Emmys and wrote a New York Times bestselling book. And it really sort of gave me a platform and a stage, but it really allowed me to hone my craft in marketing and messaging, and joined up with an amazing company called Kill Cliff, KILLCLIFF, the clean energy drink company. It was founded by a Navy SEAL for people who are not Navy SEALs, to really address the issue of, energy drinks are traditionally high in sugar, high in caffeine, and Kill Cliff is a clean energy drink, nothing synthetic, nothing artificial. I'm a massive drinker of water and Kill Cliff. So I definitely encourage everybody to check it out. Joe Rogan is a huge ambassador. It's on the Joe Rogan Experience almost every single day. In terms of being the real deal and being a product that I can get behind, I've really been able to make a career out of scientifically analyzing and saying what I really believe in. So Kill Cliff is a product that I can get behind 100%. So go to killcliff.com. Check out especially their CBD beverage, best-selling CBD beverage in the country, fastest growing CBD beverage in the country. I highly recommend it.
All right. Let's talk about Kill Cliff first, then we'll go back to your career. How did you get involved with Kill Cliff?
Kill Cliff was, an organic evolution. A really good friend of mine who I'd worked with for a very long time just knew the COO and the guys who were running Kill Cliff, and they really needed somebody to help with their marketing and getting sort of messaging aligned. And I was coming off of my contract with ESPN, and it just sort of was a perfect match because I'm very obviously health conscious. I've been approached by pretty much every large company that's in the health, fitness, nutrition space. And Kill Cliff was just the best fit, just the ethos of the company, the product itself. It was a really good fit for what I believe in and what they believe in. So, when two parties align like that, it just ends up being a perfect match and a lot of fun. Obviously the product is only as good as the people who make it, and the people behind the scenes are just incredible. So I'm incredibly honored to be working with Kill Cliff, and look forward to everybody choosing and making a better choice to drink clean energy as opposed to, stuff that could be considered a toxic energy drink.
Yeah, what would you consider like toxic? Like Gatorade, Powerade? Like what would you?
I'd say just any drink that's super high in sugar and synthetic caffeine and, ingredients you can't even pronounce on the label. There have been billion-dollar empires that have been built off of infusing people with way too much sugar and caffeine, especially, the younger generation. So that does become a bit of a toxic mix when you have young, impressionable folks, really, ingesting so much sugar and caffeine. It is problematic. It's problematic for adults, problematic for kids. So Kill Cliff is sort of the remedy to that. But it's the cool remedy. So it's not, we're not some dorky, healthy drink. It's a drink that is, first of all, it's delicious. The best tasting drink you'll ever have, with no sugar, no synthetic caffeine. And it is pretty incredible.
Would you recommend that over coffee?
I don't even drink coffee. I'm not a coffee drinker. I don't drink alcohol. I don't know what's wrong with me. So Kill Cliff is my drink of choice. Yeah. It's Kill Cliff water.
Yeah, I'm not really a big alcohol drinker. I'll have once in a while, but that's about it. I could, like, if it disappeared, I could care less.
No, people are crazy about their coffee. People are crazy, more so even than their beer. As somebody who doesn't really drink, I don't have any kind of artificial caffeine or alcohol, and it's interesting how people go crazy over coffee, just absolutely crazy.
So when you first teamed up with Kill Cliff, what was your number one main goal with this company?
Really just to align it, to make sure that the messaging was getting through, that it's a clean energy drink. That was really the goal. And now that the marketing is set in the right direction, we have a brand new customer service representative called the Castle Master, who's the overlord of all knowledge. COVID struck and people used to get answers to everything. And now he's got a position with Kill Cliff on our customer service team. So if you guys have any questions, just dial 1-800-Castle Master, and you can get some help and advice. Go to Kill Cliff, go to YouTube, look up the Castle Master, and I think you'll dig him.
You mentioned Joe Rogan. Did you bring him in, or was he already on the part of this?
No, yeah, he was. He and I basically joined the company around the same time. He was involved before I was, but the sort of organically becoming part of the company in a formal sense has happened over the same period of time. So we're real proud that Rogan is it's super authentic and definitely chooses his companies wisely, and obviously you could be part of any company with a giant audience like that. And Kill Cliff is definitely honored that it definitely developed organically. It was just a drink that he really liked. So becoming a part of the company is just a good sign that, I think lots of people will want, a clean alternative to a traditional energy drink.
Now for the listeners, how can they find the drinks and where they can buy it from?
Yeah, if you live anywhere near a Publix, Publix is carrying it, Walmart is carrying it. We just struck tons of distribution deals, but you also can just go to killcliff.com, KILLCLIFF.com. Go to killcliff.com.
Awesome. So at what age did you kind of had an idea that, you wanted to get into like the sports industry and media and marketing?
Yeah. When I went to the University of Virginia, I knew I wanted to get into entertainment. So I did an independent study with Steven Soderbergh, who had just come off of Sex, Lies, and Videotape. He won the Cannes Film Festival. And his advice to me was learn to do everything yourself. So I learned how to shoot and write and direct and edit, got out of college, made a feature film, got some investors to put up some money to buy me what back in 1993 was a revolutionary machine called an Avid, which was the first nonlinear digital editor. We ended up getting an advantage in the marketplace in DC. So we started doing production for the Washington Capitals and Washington, then Bullets, now Wizards. And we had all these sports contracts that then evolved into science contracts with National Geographic and Discovery and a whole bunch of other shows. And we put those two things together into a show called XMA, Extreme Martial Arts. Tom Cruise did the raps for him. And it was, a very highly rated show, tied in with The Last Samurai on the Discovery Channel. National Geographic then said, hey, people love the science stuff. What else do you got? I said, well, I got a show called, how about Fight Science, that sort of takes the world's greatest martial artists, but brings them to a lab and have them punch and kick the crap out of a crash test dummy to see which style generates the most amount of force. That show is so successful that Fox, that owns National Geographic and Fox Sports, said, hey, give us more of that. What else you got? We said, hey, we got a show called Sports Science where we're going to invite the world's greatest athletes to come to the ultimate lab and to put them to the test. So that was back in 2006. And then, 2 networks, 1,800 episodes, and, 6 Emmys later, made its own little dent in the sports universe.
Wow. What was your favorite segment that you think you did from all the series that you filmed for Sports Science? What was like one that stands out the most?
I wish I could pick one. It's really all about meeting the people. Ray Lewis is a great friend of mine, and he was on one of the really early episodes. Larry Fitzgerald is, absolutely incredible, but it's, being able to work with the best athletes on the planet. It's just such a thrill. If you take all of the Sports Science segments combined, it's well over 1 billion hits. We've had the incredible honor of getting to know so many, of the world's top athletes. That definitely is the best part. There's no one segment that I think is way better than everything else because there are, thousands to pick from. But it's, certainly was a thrill and an honor.
Was there like a favorite athlete that you couldn't wait to meet, or you haven't even filmed yet? Were you hoping someday you could work with?
Yeah. It's interesting because my entire career has been spent around athletes, around celebrities. And it was funny because obviously Michael Jordan was too old to get into the Sports Science lab. He had already, retired long ago. But I lived in Park City for a while, and we belonged to the same country club. And, he was a big fan of Sports Science, and, got to know Jordan a bit. And, it was great. It was, I've been very honored just to have a great relationship with Nike and, to work either directly or indirectly, on Sports Science, got to do some work with Kobe Bryant and have, launched, a shoe for LeBron and, all the sort of biggest names in sports I've, had something to do with or met them in some way or had them in the lab. And it's just been an incredible honor.
Is there any plans for any other like future projects for like Sports Science?
Yeah. Go to Soul and Science, SOUL and AND Science, Soul and Science. It just released a new app that's alternative reality. It's an AR app. And we had Aaron Gordon in, we had Kerry Walsh Jennings in, a whole bunch of incredible athletes. And this is sort of the next generation of Sports Science. So you're going to be able to use your camera to project athletes, literally on your coffee table. Your coffee table will turn into a basketball court. You'll be able to see Aaron Gordon dunking through your phone, and you'll be able to freeze it and to walk around him and do all kinds of stuff. So it's a really cool iteration of it.
Wow. Now, you've also done a little podcasting. You got any more episodes coming out?
Yeah, with Kill Cliff, we're doing a lot of live streaming. So we have a show called Because We Can that's on every Friday. We have a show called American Brain and Brawn with Lacey Evans from the WWE. We're going to be doing an MMA show with Sanford MMA. I had my podcast called The Brink of Midnight. Definitely go to Apple Music or, Apple Podcasts or, Spotify or anywhere that podcasts get published, and you can listen to Brink of Midnight, and also go to Kill Cliff's YouTube page to check out a lot of the live streams that we have going on.
That's awesome. Lastly, John, how can the listeners find you on social media?
Yeah, go to Twitter, go John Brenkus _ JOHNBRENKUS _ check me out there. Definitely follow the Kill Cliff Instagram and Twitter and YouTube. Lots of great, exciting content there.
All right, John, this was fun. Thank you for coming on.
Cool. Really appreciate it.
That's a wrap. That's a wrap, everybody. That's a wrap.
Thanks for listening to the Man Cave Chronicles podcast.
I finally get my man cave.
You can find us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at the MCC Podcast and our website, themccpodcast.com. Until next time.